Hello, I'm Victor Vogel, author of Creating a Bad Guy Free Zone and Creating a Bad Guy Free Zone While Traveling. I normally talk to people about how to stay safe in this very violent world today, but today I want to put on a different hat, one that I've spent about 30 years in. I was in organizational change and organizational consulting and dealt quite a bit in the human resource business for almost 30 years in large corporations and small businesses and as a consultant. And so I know a little bit about compensation. So I want to talk a little bit about the new tax bill that was just passed, and not so much from the standpoint whether it's growing businesses or bringing jobs back in or anything like that, although I have quite a few questions about that, and you should too. You should look at more facts about that. But let's just take a look at this $1,000 bonus that they keep putting out there as so beneficial to employees. And the way I would like to do that is sort of consider exactly what does that mean to an employee that's out there. You know, and so the question is a $1,000 bonus a great deal? And let's just break it down and take a look at it. First of all, the average hours worked per year back when I was in the business was 2,080 hours. That was a basic format or number of hours people use to determine compensation programs, etc. And that included things like personal leave and holidays. All that was figured in. So a person was getting paid for about 2,080 hours a year. Now, I think that's probably more today because people have smartphones, they have computers, they're connected to the internet. It's like you can't go anywhere and not get away from work. Thank God certain European countries have laws against employees working off hours on their personal computers and everything. So let's just take a look at how this $1,000 breaks down. And a one-time bonus, which is normally taxed a little heavier than your average employment tax, but just a $1,000 bonus broken down into 2,080 hours breaks into about an increase in your income of about 48 cents per hour before taxes. Now, when you take taxes out of that, depending on your tax bracket, it's going to be considerably different. But when you look at that $1,000 that they hold up there and say is so great for everybody, and you break it down to 48 cents an hour for the year, that puts a different tint on what that looks like. Now, let's take a further look at this. Yeah, it's fairly well known that bonuses are not guaranteed each year. So you may get this bonus this year, but if things don't go well under the Trump administration's trickle-down theory, and of course there's a lot of history to show that is the case, that it may not go well, then that bonus isn't guaranteed from this point on out. So bonuses aren't really guaranteed, whereas salary increases is a guarantee as long as you're working. So bonuses are really a very cheap reward system for companies versus salary increases. So they can give you $1,000 because the tax scenario and the economy the way it is right now makes good sense, and that's great. And of course that's the way it was for 30 years. If things went well, you got a bonus. If things didn't, you didn't get a bonus. And things haven't been well up until the last couple of years. But even the last couple of years where things have been showing to increase, if you go back, companies weren't given a bonus until they got this tax break on this situation. So you would have to go deep into the tax structure of this to determine how that makes sense to them. The bonuses aren't really offering a whole lot per hour increase, whereas an increase from $7.50 an hour, and I don't know, I'm guessing that's close to what the hour minimum wage is right now, and some places, or most of the country, is somewhere around that, 750, 795, or whatever. But let's take 750, and let's say you got bumped up to $10.50 an hour, or $3 an hour raise. That increase then comes out at 2,080 hours to be $6,240 a year minus taxes versus that 1,000. Okay, so $6,240 versus 1,000 with a $3 an hour increase in your pay. You have to back out your taxes in terms of your spending, but the interesting thing is that continues on. Even if the company is struggling next year, you still have that guarantee of that income coming in, unless for some reason they have to lay you off. So either way, whether they have to lay you off because of bad economy or you can't get money for a bad economy, it's not premised on this tax bill, folks. It's premised on how well the economy is going to be over a period of time. So don't take this short 1 month stretch and take it as some sort of godsend to employees. It's really not. This is just another way to look at that $1,000 bonus versus, say, a hike to $10.50 an hour for somebody. There's a big difference right there. There's $5,240 difference in your pocket minus taxes in your pocket on an ongoing basis versus a one-time deal. So no, my insight for the GOP is no, you're not doing a horrendous favor by giving somebody a $1,000 increase as a company. In fact, companies are getting a lot more out of this tax bill than you are, and this is just one more example of where they are not giving it back to the employees. So there you go. There's some insight from a guy that spent 30 years in the business. I'm looking at this thing and I'm saying I'm not at all convinced. Yeah, $1,000 is money in your pocket, but it isn't what they're telling you it is, and that is it's a great scenario. So I hope this is insightful to you. I hope you can share this with your friends out there. We need wage increases, large wage increases, very much like Bernie Sanders was saying, moving a minimum wage up to $15 an hour. Go figure that on this formula, folks. And that's a heck of a lot different than the $1,000 bonus or 48 cents an hour increase. Okay? You have a great day. Keep your eye on the facts. Think through things. Apply them to how it really is going to affect you totally. And make sure you understand everything that's coming your way. And get out there and vote in 2018. We need to make some changes that overcome this kind of hyperbole, this big boasting kind of information that's being shared, and get it back down to reality for folks. Have a great day.